Welcome to Grey Primer, a weekly show that's mostly about miniatures. My name is Nick, I'm your host, and in this week's episode we're going to be playing with some wildlife off Amity Island in Jaws. Jaws was one of the first films that terrified me as a child. I don't know why I ended up seeing Jaws as a child, but these things happen. I think they used to put movies on earlier in the evening when I was younger. I remember clearly Salem's Lot, Children of the Corn, American Werewolf in London, and Jaws, all airing long before bedtime. It was a little traumatic, but it very quickly became my favorite film of all time and has remained there since. Not as a traumatic experience, but as just a fascinating one. A world I didn't know existed. This island life, the fishing boats, the huge killer fish, all those things were alien to me. Which is good, especially for that last one there, but it's always ranked as my number one film. Plenty of other films have come close to knocking it off the top spot. Terminator 2, Aliens, Jurassic Park, Braveheart, Super Troopers, but yet big old Bruce here with the doll's eyes and the pointy teeth has remained king or queen of the castle. Been sure in a straight fight, this versus a T-Rex in the water. This is most likely going to win. On land, I'd give it to the T-Rex. Against a Terminator, I'd give it to the Terminator. Doesn't really matter if it's an air, sea, space, land, whatever. As for aliens, I guess their heads could be flotation devices, but I'd still give it to the big old fish here. On land, aliens. But what was the last one? Super Troopers? I think the Super Troopers would still die on land against this. They'd just flail about and squish them. Snosberries or not. What was I even talking about? Oh, Jaws. Favorite movie. And because I love this intellectual property so much, it does make me nervous when someone makes a board game about it. Am I going to like the movie less if this is awful? No, of course not. I'll still love the movie. But if this is good, it might even enhance the experience of watching the movie. Maybe I'll be watching the end, and when Brody does the thing, it's kind of an old film, but I still don't want to give any spoilers away. Brody does the thing, and you son of a, and stuff. Maybe when I was playing it, I missed, and the shark ate me, and I'd be like, oh, how we laughed. So maybe it'll enhance the movie for me. Only one way to find out. Let's crack this open. I know I said in the opening that Jaws is my favorite film of all time, but I'm still nervous about opening this game. I want to know that this has been done with love and respect for the original. It's hard to see something you care about approached in maybe a cheap way or a kind of a cash grab way. And I hope this isn't the case here. Certainly this cover art is telling me that at least they know the source material. They know not to mess around too much with that. Sure, the Ravensburger logo's over here, but it's tastefully enough done. It's just a corner. This font is fantastic. It just feels, in keeping with the subject matter. You got lovely Bruce down here doing his attack from below. That is consistent with a big old great white like him. Although the scale of Bruce compared to this person has always been a little bit off. That's much more sort of whale scale than shark scale. This poor swimmer out just minding her own business, and then we have the great branding, even including the fish hook J there. I don't know if that's intentional, but I always thought it looked like a fish hook. And we have just the replicated branding around the side, and then on the back we have 2 to 4 players, age 12 and up, 60 minutes. Experience Jaws as a suspenseful tabletop strategy game. One player menaces the island of Amity as the 3-ton giant white, while the others go to hunt as Brody, Hooper, and Quint. 2 thrilling phases of gameplay capture the edge-of-your-seat excitement of the classic film. If you want to stay alive, then ante up, Quint. So Act 1 is Amity Island. Act 2, you're on board the boat on the Orca. And let me see what quote we've got here. What we're dealing with here is a perfect engine, an eating machine. It really is a miracle of evolution. Hooper. And you're going to need a bigger boot from Brody, of course. And nicely laid out in the back, really straightforward. You know exactly what you're getting. I guess the shark is going to eat its fill around the island. However successful it is there, I guess will determine how powerful it is when it goes up against the boat. That kind of makes sense to me, but maybe it doesn't follow that path. Let's get in here. See if it respects the original source material. And it looks like it does. Oh, cool. Look at that. That's the graffitied banner from just outside the beach. But we got the to scale shark fin over here. And then in an overview of the game itself. You got Amity Island, all the setup stuff here, getting ready to play. Overview, event phase, shark phase, crew phase. Individual bits and pieces for each of Brody, Quint, and Hooper. And then we get the end of Act 1, and we leave Amity behind and head out to the deep water. And we're on board the Orca. And it looks like as the board gets damaged, maybe, you take away these tiles and it leaves this sort of sunken bit underneath. That's pretty cool. Resurface tokens, dice. Okay. So I'm guessing that the shark remains hidden for phases. I guess that the other players are trying to deduce where the shark is actually lurking at that point in time. All of the various rules. I mean, it doesn't look that complicated. This is only like 11, 12 pages long. Crew attacks, shark attacks, end of round, end of game. Nice chum bucket there down below. Okay, so Act 1 and Act 2 may be played as a standalone game with the following modifications. So there's a variant on the main rules there too as to how you want to play it. I like that too. And a scuba tank there that I'm sure Bruce wouldn't be too happy to see. And what do we have underneath? Got the game tiles. These are a little bent, but I'm sure they're okay. It's probably just the shrink wrap was done a little too tight and it just curved them over a wee bit. And look at these great things. Oh, that's like the fish finder. Got the beach closed opening soon. Sure it is. The binos. Oh, victims. You poor people. I guess they wouldn't really know what hits them. And various sort of inflatables and stuff. And oh, is this Pipit? Yeah, it looks like the dog. Right, its stick. Oh dear. Oh, we got these brilliant barrel tokens. They look so good. Looks like special actions there. And then we have the tokens. These are the resurface tokens. Okay. Oh, it's smaller than I thought. The game board is smaller than I thought. Alright. So we have Amity here. Got West Beach, Dock, North Beach. The Mayor's Office, East Beach, the other dock. South Beach. I guess the idea is that the shark is going to be popping around these places. And there's going to be a certain number of survivors in each. I say stay here. Stay at the shop. You'll be fine there. And then it flips over for Act 2, and we have the Orca. And yeah, you can see the submerged boat there. So that's kind of cool. As you remove those tiles, it gets more and more just destroyed and starts to sink. There's even playing cards floating there, which is a lovely touch. That's nice. Okay, what do we want to look at first? We've got shark ability cards. I'm not going to go through these. This is sort of the secrets of the game. But even if we look at that one, the actual, like the font and everything there feels consistent to the material. It looks like it belongs. You know, it's a good font. It's a little bit 80s and old-fashioned, or 70s and old-fashioned actually. But it fits perfectly. It's thematic, and it's just bang on the money. But I will go through this bag, see what we have here. So we got shark tracker. Oh wow, this feels really good. For the different games, okay, so you're tracking sort of location, swimmers eaten, oh my goodness, power tokens, and then I wonder if you're marking on this where you think it is, or where you're sort of deducing the places that you've ruled out or whatever, trying to, you know, corner it, narrow it down. Again, design-wise, this is lovely. It's got a nice feel in the hand too. And we have our player cards for the different characters. Here we got Quint with Quint's famous baseball hat. His army fatigues as well there with his surname on it. We got Brody with the Amity Police Chief badge and then his shoulder patch. And you got Hooper with his sunnies and his scuba mask and snorkel. And then we've got the hero of the piece, the shark itself, looking pretty good. And I guess you put the barrel tokens onto this card when you get tagged and track the different numbers, how you're getting on with eating swimmers. Amazing. Have some nice dice here. Sort of translucent blood red, I guess. These are the little clips for the different trackers on the player cards. And we'll have a look at tokens. So we got the 3 meeples for the 3 main heroes, let's just call them. We got the shark itself. And then we have 2 boats. Here and here. So these are nice. They're, you know, well painted wooden meeples. Design is nice and clear on them. The shark itself, it's okay. This is the only part where I'm like, oh, you couldn't have gone for, rather than just the, you know, the box image, you couldn't have gone for an actual, like maybe a miniature or something. And I kind of knew that was the case. So when I ordered Jaws, I ordered a multi-pack of toy sea animals. Like, I think there's like rays and lobsters and all sorts. And they're all about yay big. And it actually came with a very cool shark. And I thought, here's Bruce. This is going to be the Bruce as I use it in the game. And I thought that would be, you know, if we're looking at, let's look at Amity Island, and we have, let's compare the two. So this pops up, not really putting fear into the hearts. This pops up, and now we're talking. We got ourselves a serious fish problem. Looks pretty good. So that works out really well. These are like a few pounds for a huge bag of these sea toys anyway. But I thought that would be a nice upgrade on the component there for only a few quid. And this is kind of nice. The insert has got a nautical theme. It's got all these anchors all over it. That's kind of good. Loads of space for extra sharks, let's just say, but really nice. You got the orca on the edge, at the shark, the very famous buoy. There's the swimmer as well. So she almost gets up onto that. She just doesn't quite make it. And then begins our wonderful story. And that's it. The very quick unboxing and first impressions of Jaws. The components themselves all look great. Everything looks like it's built to last as well. I think you would get hundreds and hundreds of plays of this, with it being sort of deduction and strategy and that added suspense. It probably has got a pretty good lifespan on it as well for keeping people interested. Once I'm clear of lockdown, I'll get a few games of this. I will report back as well. I'll probably put it into the notes, or maybe I'll do a follow-up video if it sort of merits it. But that's it for now. So please click like if you enjoyed the content. If you like this type of video, if you want to see me do more board games, then by all means just put a little note into the comments below, and it's certainly something I can look at doing. I do have a few more coming up that are more miniatures heavy, a few more board games, but I'll get to those in a later episode. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider clicking the button there. You can also have notifications on or off. It's up to you. My videos come out every weekend, so maybe that's all the notification you need. And you can also share these out as well if there's someone out there you think might enjoy it too. But that's it. On the next episode, I've actually got another board game. We're going in a different direction. It's going to be a miniatures heavy one. It's going to be really grim and dark. I mean, being eaten by a shark is grim and dark. But think of this more in terms of Cthulhu and the creatures from beyond coming to take over the world of mortal humankind. That's a little bit more serious than Hungry Fish. But from the same deep dark, let's just say. But that's in the next episode. And until then, take care of yourselves and bye-bye.